Hey adventurers, it's Captain Jaden here. Welcome back to another episode of Sunday Adventure. Now, before we get down in today's adventure, I want to introduce you to a new sergeant on board. So, adventurers, say hi to Sergeant OJ.
Hey adventurers, I'm glad to be on board.
And we're glad to have you. Last week, we started the story of Moses, and we journeyed right through his childhood as the Egyptian prince, right through his meeting with the burning bush, who we all know is God.
Today we're going to have a special guest talk about the next part in Moses' journey, the 10 deadly plagues. Now, before we get into that, let's make sure we have everything we need. Kofi, Lisa, long time no see. It's time to do our adventure check. Do you have your adventure kit? Do you have your S.S Voyager ID? And do you have your time, talent, and treasures?
Check.
Now remember, if you ever get lost and confused, you can always rewind the video or pause and ask an adult for help. Alright, we're ready for today's adventure.
Oh, no. Oh, hey, it's me, Carl. Welcome to Grow TV. We got a lot to talk about.
Welcome to Grow TV.
Hey, y'all. I gotta be honest. I'm not super prepared this week. I've got a lot on my mind. I tell you what, I read some of Moses' stories this week and there's some crazy stuff happening in there. I mean, Moses said yes to God's plan for him. Then he went to Egypt and was like, hey, Pharaoh, let my people go. And Pharaoh's like, no way. And Moses is like, what? And things totally changed after that. Things changed so much, it got me scared. That's why I'm prepping. Because I read about the 9 plagues that went over Egypt, and to call me Frank, even though I'm Carl, I got scared.
Carl,
Hey, DJ, what's up, man?
not much, bro. How you doing?
Well, if I'm being honest, I guess I'm a little paranoid. I've been prepping.
Oh, you prepping? What you prepping for, Carl?
The possible plagues.
Possible plagues? Carl, you lost me, man. What you talking about?
Well, I read in Exodus about the plagues, and it got me worried. What if something like that happened to us? So I got all my gear ready just in case.
I guess I can see where you're coming from. What about the story has you so worked up? Let's start there.
Well, let's look at it.
It's time for our Bible story. Last week we left off with Moses being told by God to take his brother, Aaron, and free his people, the Israelites. It might have sounded like a simple thing, but it ended up being very challenging. It was complicated because the people of Israel had become such a huge part of Pharaoh's nation. They had been held captive in Egypt for a very long time, for generations actually. But God was tired of Pharaoh refusing to set the people free. Moses was told to go with one message to Pharaoh, to let my people go. But Pharaoh said no. So God decided to send plagues. Plagues were really painful disasters sent to Egypt by God to force the Pharaoh to let God's people go. God knew Pharaoh's heart wasn't changing. He did not want to let God's people go. Pharaoh would see the power of God through the plagues and allow Israel to be free. The first plague was water in Egypt being turned to blood. But Pharaoh would still not let God's people go. The second plague was frogs being sent everywhere. But that didn't work. So a third plague was sent. The third plague was dust turned to gnats. Gnats are tiny bugs that fill the air. The fourth plague were flies. Then the fifth plague were all the horses and all the cows and all the sheep died. But none of it worked. Pharaoh was a stubborn ruler and didn't want to let God's people go.
No.
With the sixth plague, the people and animals all got boils on their skin. Painful sores covered them. The seventh plague, it rained ice. Hail fell from the sky. The eighth plague, locusts ate up all the plants. Yet, Pharaoh still wouldn't let God's people go. With the ninth plague, everything went dark for 3 days.
The last one? Darkness. A life covered by darkness. Listen, I'm still afraid of the dark. That's why I'm going to keep a flashlight on at all times.
Oh, wait, Carl. That's not all.
What do you mean?
Oh, there's more.
I mean, there's the final plague, darkness. What's more terrifying than that? Talk about troubling.
Carl, that's not the last plague. That's the 9th plague. There's 10.
10? Are you kidding me? I finally started to calm down, and now you drop this on me? Oh no, this is going to be awful. What am I going to do?
Well, let's talk about the last plague. It's called the plague of the firstborn.
The 10th plague was the worst one. All the oldest sons in Egyptian homes died in their sleep. This plague was devastating.
Excuse me?
But this plague, the Israelites have a chance to save their firstborns.
The what? TJ, I'm a firstborn.
Yeah, me too. So this was Pharaoh's last chance. But God told Moses a way that the Israelites could be spared from the last plague. The people would need to take the blood of a lamb and paint their doorpost with it. Then when the plague came across the land, it would pass over their homes and they would be saved.
So the Israelites were saved?
Yes. After that, Pharaoh let the Israelites go. And after that, Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt and away from their horrible lives they knew as slaves.
Well, then what happened?
Nothing. God had saved them from Egypt and from the 10 plagues. Well, there was that moment when Pharaoh got mad and got all his soldiers and then he chased them when he was in his chariots and horses.
I knew it. More bad things happened.
But God saved them from that too. God actually had them walk right through a sea to escape Pharaoh's army.
Whoa, that's great to know that God helps when we're in trouble.
You're absolutely right, Carl. All right, kids, we'll see y'all next week.
Hey, adventurers. It looks like you guys learned a lot today, so I won't keep you for much longer. Let's do a quick recap today. Today, we learned about how God always helps us when we're in trouble. In this case, the Israelites were in trouble, so God had sent Moses to get the Israelites out of Egypt. But then, Moses needed God's help too because Pharaoh refused to release the Israelites. So, God sent the 10 plagues. Thanks to God's continuous help, the Israelites were set free. Now, into today's mission.
This right here is the Morse code alphabet.
So, can you see it well enough if I do that? Yeah? Okay. This right here is the Morse code alphabet. It's used to send messages in a hurry when you can't send a text or call. As you can see, there are dots and there are dashes. We combine these dots and dashes to represent the different letters of the alphabet. For example, the letter A is represented by 1 dot and 1 dash. Now, your mission is to figure out what this message says using your Morse code alphabet.
Hey adventurers, it's Captain Jaden here, and on behalf of the whole Sunday Adventure crew and team here at First Baptist Church Toronto, we want to wish you a very, very happy Valentine's Day. Now, if this was a regular year, we could be together, sharing candy, giving each other chocolates, and a whole bunch of other cool, amazing activities. But because of COVID-19 and the pandemic, we can't do that. Nonetheless, if you are a part of our Sunday Adventure program, which means you join us every Friday or every other Friday for our weekly meetings, then we have something amazing coming just for you. So stay tuned, check your doorsteps, check your mailboxes, because we have something excited just for you if you are signed up and are a part of our Sunday Adventure program. One more thing that we have to mention. Here's number 2. Pay attention to the upcoming videos, especially at the end. We have a little surprise guest visiting us. Now, I don't want to give too much away, but if you pay attention, watch all the way to the end, then you'll be super excited for what we have. Now, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and enjoy our adventures and enjoy your Valentine's Day. Captain Jaden,